We're joined now from Toronto by Henry Moyal. He's an immigration attorney with more than 2 decades of experience helping people move to Canada. So let me ask you, Henry, one of the biggest changes deals with professionals and entrepreneurs. Explain to our viewers what a revised quota system is all about there.
Well, what we're seeing now is a quota system that the minister has imposed for professionals who want to immigrate to Canada. In the sense that if you're a professional, you're skilled, you have the work experience, the first challenge that is facing those applicants is that you have to be on a in-demand list. Currently, there are only 24 professional occupations on that list. So they have to navigate through that system and be on that list. If you're not on that list, you're out of luck. Now, even if you're on the list, then the other challenge is that only 300 per occupation is allowed to apply for the permanent residence. So let's say you're an engineer, which is on the current list. That cap has been filled months ago. So only 300 of those engineers are allowed per year. So that is the problem that professionals are facing. With regard to the entrepreneur program, that was eliminated weeks ago by the federal minister.
Interesting. Well, we have another statement from Canada's Citizenship and Immigration Minister. Want to show you this. He said just a couple of weeks ago, he said this: our government is focused on attracting experienced business people and raising investment capital that will contribute to our economic success over the long term. A moment ago, I referenced the new program set for launch in January. You've been in the trenches for a couple of decades now. How would you characterize some of the changes made in just the past year, and how surprising are they?
They're very surprising, and it's very concerning for applicants who are professionals, and also, as you mentioned, for people who are wealthy, who have the business acumen, who do not have necessarily the education, but are business people and have the funds to immigrate. The category of the investor business category has been canceled weeks ago by the federal minister, and it's going to be very disappointing to a lot of people, especially in Asia, who have been the #1 target for investor applications. They're going to have to scramble around and try to find some other program within the provinces, which is what's called the PNP, or the Provincial Nominee Program, to find a program that is going to be suitable. The problem with the PNP program that we're finding is that most people, business people, want to invest into the country and not necessarily be part of the business. Most of the PNP programs require an applicant to invest and also be, for example, 1/3 active into the business. So the days where a person would be an investor, invest, back then it was $400,000, and become a permanent resident, are long gone. That's not happening anymore.
Well, Henry, you mentioned Asia just a moment ago, and when it comes to the number of foreign students in Canada, and I'm sure you know this, the overwhelming majority are from China. In 2012, there were more than 25,000 Chinese entering Canada as students. That's about as many as the next 3 countries combined. That's India, the Republic of Korea, and France, all of them combined. Now, Americans make up the rest of the top 5. What does it say that people can go to Canada to study, but have a much tougher time when it comes to actually going to work or live there?
Well, the student stream is actually a very attractive stream because people who come as students, and I think the minister is trying to have people come first to Canada to try to adapt to the country. And it's interesting because the student stream is actually very beneficial, because after you come as a student, you're automatically able to get what's called a postgraduate work permit up to 3 years. And then within that 3 years, if you work for 1 year, then you can automatically apply for permanent residence. There are also some other provinces, for example, in Ontario, that if you graduate in a master or PhD program, you don't even have to have any work experience. You automatically can apply for permanent residence. So I think that's an actually very good program.
Henry Moyal joining us from Toronto. Thanks so much for your insights.